Across the Spiderverse is amazing, pun intended. It's generally so good, and I'm sure you probably agree.
Yeah, it's amazing even how good it is.
And don't take the title of this video as a negative critic of the movie. Let me explain first what I mean by the Spiderverse ending paradox. I assume you have seen the movie, so I won't explain what canon is and how it affects the world and all that stuff. So if you didn't, go watch the movie first and then go back. So let's get into it. To understand my point, we need to look at the conflict at the core of the movie on a narrative and thematic level to see the paradoxical nature of the possible endings. Okay, so there are two possible outcomes to the main conflict of Across the Spider-Verse. Either Miles managed to save his dad, or he doesn't.
Or none of those, and the Spot win, and kill all the spider people, and now he got the respect he deserved.
Pretty unlikely. So there are two real possible endings. Sure, there are variations on those, but those are the main outcome. And the main reason this conflict is so interesting in Across the Spider-Verse is also the reason those two outcomes cause narrative problems to the story told. At least from what I can think of. Again, feel free to join the discussion in the comment section. I'm interested to know what y'all think. So the way the story built its conflict make it almost impossible to figure out the ending it should or will have. It might seem obvious at first, but on a narrative level, both cause weird contradiction. Let's first look at what happened if Miles saved his dad. First on a thematic level and then on a narrative level. On a thematic level, it would work hand in hand with Miles' arc in the story. Him learning to not let other people decide what he will do with his life. So if he literally goes against destiny and changes the world, it's a pretty powerful message to not let anyone or anything stop us. Which is really cool, so if this is the ending the writer chose, then I'm fine with it. But it literally undermined the other main story element pushed in the movie. That being Spider-Man is hard and have consequences, but most of all, you can't save everyone. Because you see Spider-Man, like most heroes, find their most important story told through loss, through the mistake they made and the people they couldn't save. Spider-Man have the death of Uncle Ben, the death of John the Wolf, Gwen Stacy, Harry Osborn, and in PS4 No Way Home, Aunt May. It's not to say that Spider-Man or any other hero should lose someone or someone should die in their story, but the movie itself really tried to push an important life lesson that we all should learn in some way, not just Spider-Man, that it's impossible to save everyone. And if the third movie just ignored that and make Miles save his dad and the world, it surely will reinforce one of the themes of the movie, but will undermine the other. What those movies would then say is that you can do everything you want, even fight destiny to a point where you don't have to lose anything, and can save everyone.
It would basically be really cheap of the movie to do so, like it's the case with the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp that seem to set up a cool conflict where either Janet is saved from the Quantumverse or it's Ghost, you know, the villain of the movie. She was like half stuck into the Quantumverse and she was just trying to save herself because both parties thought that like they could only save one of them, but instead of writing a satisfying conclusion to this dilemma, they just made it so that when they saved Janet, she healed Ghost instantly, and poof, just like that, all the dilemma between who they were going to save was gone. And Beyond the Spider-Verse could end up a disappointment too if it's not careful. I don't think it will though, but they need to answer this question and not avoid it.
Now if you contrast that with the Smallville episode where Superman, the most powerful superhero, spent the entire runtime trying to save a child that have terminal cancer, only to realize by the end that even Superman can save everyone. Now let me put it that way, if Clark would have been able to save the child, would this episode be as powerful? No, mainly because the ending would have gone against the story told. But then again, if by the end of a story like Naruto about trying your best to reach your dream, the main character would have just failed, it also wouldn't work. The ending then would have gone against the entire story told. Spider-Verse fall into both those categories ironically enough. And this is in some way why Across the Spider-Verse is so powerful on a thematic level, because the main conflict clash both the main themes of the movie, making it hard for the viewer to really decide which should happen, even if we all deep down want Miles to be able to save his dad. But now we can also look at it on a narrative level. If Miles actually managed to save his dad and go against the canon, it make the main premise of the movie useless. The whole point is that you can't change the canon unless you want something bad to happen, but if the canon can be changed, then it's no longer a dilemma about letting canon flow to save everyone versus saving the person that need help right now, because now we would only make it a story about a group of people that thinks they're right but that are just wrong versus someone that is right, because you can actually save people from the canon. The most interesting part narratively of the story is that the canon needs to happen or there will be big consequences. But if you can bypass the consequences, then you take the most interesting part of the dilemma. But then again, on the other hand, if Miles can save his dad, it would make the whole conflict and conclusion less interesting, because it would mean the entire arc that Miles went through would become worthless, because he needs to follow a predetermined path and can't be who he really is. So either you destroy the character arc of your protagonist, or you destroy the entire premise of the movie. It's a hard choice, one that as of now, I don't know which would work better. But there is one thing for sure. If the second movie make us go through so many questions and make us doubt the ending of the third one so much, it means this movie did its job. Across the Spider-Verse is an impossible movie, one that managed to be as good as the original, which seemed impossible. But now it also set up a narrative and thematic conflict that seemed impossible to deliver a satisfying ending with. But you know what? They already did the impossible once. And that's what makes it all the more hype to see what's gonna happen next.
Something they could do that would work is have Gwen die saving Miles' dad. This would work both thematically and make sense as far as respecting the canon goes. This way she would prove Miles' point by not letting his dad die, while still respecting the canon at the same time by dying, because we know Gwen is supposed to die. It would also let Miles save his dad, but he would still learn that everything has a price. This would also let Gwen redeem herself for all the friends she lost or betrayed. Like, you see, that would satisfy both ways. The only problem is that Gwen will probably be in a spin-off movie after Spiderverse, so I don't think they will kill her in this one. But the most likely outcome, I think, would be to have Jefferson die saving Miles after Miles saved him first. Miles would have saved his dad from the Spot, but when the Spot goes for the kill and try to kill like Miles, his dad could sacrifice himself saving his son. He could even have learned just before that his son is Spider-Man, and that saving him doomed the multiverse, ending with Jefferson telling his son that he did save him, giving us a bittersweet ending where Miles is able to save his dad, but also that his dad is able to save him back, satisfying both sides of the argument. Like, Miles was able to save his dad, but his dad still dies. Another cool thing they could do is just have Jefferson change universe like he and his wife, as then he would be dead in his reality and live in another. Like, they could even do like they do in the comic, and like the thing where Miles' family go live in Peter's universe, or honestly something else, I don't know. Plus, in the like vision from the Spot, you see a bunch of spider people down, like, so who knows what will happen next.
But now I'm interested to know what's your take on it. Should Spider-Man learn you can't save everyone even if it means Miles can't choose his own fate? Or should Spider-Man learn everything is possible even if it means lying about the fact that sometimes you can't save everyone? Should there be a loophole that satisfies both ends of the story? Or is there another ending that we didn't think of? Let us know in the comment section and subscribe for more video.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping